Yeah, good day YouTubers. Just a 2008 model Mitshubishi Pajero NS. Just want to show you that how much the mileage is on the clock. See if I can zoom in. It's 153,921 kilometers on the clock, and I'll just turn the ignition on. Now, right on top you'll see an orange light. That's your engine management light above the battery, and an oil light. And that orange light stays on while driving, and I'll show you what the problem I think it might be, and I'm going to try and fix it, so just bear with me. This is an information video just to show you of the parts I've been taken off, so you just got to bear with me. I've got to climb into the engine bay. So this is what I've done so far, is this pipe that goes on there, that comes from like an intercooler, that's cooled by water circulation. It cools the exhaust gases, and then it runs back into the air intake manifold, which is that side there, and this is where the EGR sensor is. And if you can see all this muck inside there, and this is what you got to clean out. So that's an air intake pipe. So it's coming from the exhaust gases. Okay, so it comes from the exhaust gases, which is the pipe right next to your brake clutch cylinder if you've got a clutch manual car. And it's got a pipe that runs over here, and it's secured on there, and runs over there and back into there, and it's starting up with 4 big bolts, which is 40 millimeters. These bolts are all 12 millimeter bolts and 12 millimeter nuts, and this is the one you got to take off, and then you got to take this pipe off as well, the air intake pipe, and clean it all out. This is the EGR sensors plug that I've unplugged, and that goes into there. So I'll show you how the EGR sensor look like. So just bear with me, I've got to hop off again. So at the moment, this is how the EGR sensor looks like. That's where the plug plugs in, just over there. And I unscrew this thing to see what's on the inside of it. I'll just show you. It's safe to open it up, that's not a problem. So this is the part that pushes the switch on and off, and as you can see, there's a lot of junk inside there that you got to clean out and so on. And also that side it's got a piston in the middle with a spring that's spring loaded. So when I push it here, it will open up this side, if you can see there, and that let the gases through to the air intake, which is that side there that goes to the air intake and lets all the gases through. This side is where the switch is actually on. This part here goes on there, just like that, and it's got a switch that pulls in and out. So every time when this thing goes like that, it's supposed to let the gases go through, and if the intake manifold is blocked up with junk in it, soot and oil and diesel and whatever shit is inside there, that's why you got to clean all out. So this switch can go all the way out and make contact. If you can see, that's all the way out, and that's all the way in again. So every time when this piston goes in and out, it senses and sends a signal to the computer, and that's why the engine management light is on. So I'm going to clean all these things, and I'll show you how I put it all together, and sort of that's the part that comes off the exhaust gas and back air into the thing, so that just goes on like that and back into the air intake. So I'll show you a little bit later on all the parts. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Hey tubers, just back to show you where I started taking the air intake manifold off. Just fucking bear with me so I can get up in this fucking engine. Righto. So the air intake manifold is secured with only 3 bolts. So you got 1 bolt here, and you're going to unplug all these cables. There's a couple of cables on the right hand side, a couple of brackets. There's 3 brackets, 1 little pipe there, another pipe there, and a dipstick pipe, a couple of cables that's hooked onto it. So the main bolts is only 3 bolts. They're all 12mm, 2 there at the back, 1 there and 1 bolt there. It's got a gasket, a metal gasket that goes on there, just like that. And this is all bolted up with soot and crap. So, and I'll show you the air intake manifold and throttle body. And you got this big plug there too that's connected to the throttle body, that is electronic throttle control. It opens up the butterfly to give it more fuel and so on. So just bear with me so I can jump off again. Now this is our air intake manifold. Here's a throttle, a butterfly, and if you I don't know if you can see that, but there's a lot of shit inside there. So that's the throttle control with the plug. That's where it's mounted onto the engine, plus these 2 bolts over there. And I don't know if you can see all the junk inside there. There's a whole lot of soot and oil and carbon, and the same like that side. It's very difficult to show you guys, but this all needs to be cleaned out, so hopefully this will fix it after I clean it all, and it'll have a better flow and probably better fuel consumption as well. And yeah, another sensor there that's got a plug on it, so just unplug all the plugs and the wires that goes on top, and that's it. I'll see you later. Yeah, trippers, I'm back, just showing you all the shit that came out of this thing, all the oil and diesel and crap that was inside it. I got it now fairly a bit cleaner than what it was. So there's still a lot of oil and shit in there, which I'm going to clean out now. And it's not too bad from a throttle body side. So it's all basically the front end up to the sensor, the EGR sensor, where it goes onto there, and it's from there to there where all the muck is actually coming in. So as it comes from the engine, it will come in and goes in there through the EGR sensor intake, and this is your intake back into the engine. And there's some shit in there too that I've got to clean out. So all good. Cheers. Yeah, good are you jippers. Yeah, just continuing of my video. It's all being cleaned out where the EGR sensor solenoid goes onto, or motor. It's like a motor that turns it. It's got like a worm gear. It's got like a worm gear that turns a little motor on the inside. So this is your EGR sensor. That's the thing that shows the red engine management light if it becomes clogged or faulty or anything. So to put this back together, that goes back, that's a flange that goes on the intake manifold of this one. Everything's been cleaned, so you can see there that just moves nice and freely, don't have to put anything on it. So that goes on like that. Now this part here, that's got to go on like that. That's got to face to the engine side. That's where your cable goes. Just bear with me, I haven't got a tripod, so attach all the screws. Just line them all up and put them all in. Don't do them up all the way, just lightly, till you've got everything entered properly, all lined up nicely. Once you've got all lined up, you can use a screwdriver and tighten everything up. So putting this all together so you can see. Now it's going to be a little bit of a long video. Try and shorten it as much as I can. I'm not a mechanic. I'm hoping this is going to fix my problem, and we'll see when I start a car up if it's going to fix it or not. Just tighten the screws lightly, you don't have to tighten it too much. Just nicely tight, that'll do. All 4 screws secured. Right, and now we've got this part on. This is the other part with the throttle. As you can see, I'll go and stand on the outside and see if we can get it on the outside. But yeah, it's all nicely clean now. There, all the muck is out of that hole there. Just bear with me. And all that soot and oil and shit is out in there. Also, this is it's like a oxygen sensor, and that tells the computer to give it more air or less air, or more heat, or let it run richer or leaner, whatever it is. On a diesel, I don't know how a diesel works, but just a little sensor. Make sure that's properly cleaned too. I'll just use the high pressure cleaner. And this is the throttle body. It's got a little motor that turns it automatic or electronic. So all nice and clean. And I'll just grab this other gasket here. There's a little gasket that's got to go on. And I'll have to give it a wipe off. So just bear with me, and I've got to get some paper there just to wipe it down. It's just a little bit dusty. all metal gasket. Be careful you don't bend it or anything. Righto, so that's it. It just goes on like that. Righto. Now I'll go and get the bolts. 4 bolts, or 14 millimeter bolts, and that's to attach this EGR sensor thing. So there's a bit of exhaust gases enters, so just enter everything lightly. So once you've got everything entered, it's easy. I'll just go and get a socket, just bear with me. Where did I put my socket? Oh, there's my socket there. So I'll just got a 3/4 inch, and I'm just going to tighten it up very, very quickly for you. So just bear with me. This is my little butterfly impact wrench ratchet. So makes life a lot easier. Right, and that's all done. There we go, this pipe here. We'll put this pipe on afterwards. I've got to put it on now. And got this gasket that's got to go on there. So that's just got to go on there. And it goes onto the intake manifold coming from the exhaust. A little intercooler that cools the gases before it comes to the air intake. So the air comes in from this end through the throttle body, past the EGR sensor. It activates the EGR sensor, and or by pressure or whatever, and it goes back in there, and that's it. I'll continue this video later on. Oh no, sorry. That goes to the motor side. That goes to the motor side, and this actually goes onto there. It's coming from the exhaust gas from that side into the EGR sensor, and that's got that little piston that pushes in and out, and then back through there, back into the engine this way. And this is just where the air comes in. So the air goes in there, through there, past the EGR sensor, and then back into the engine. Cheers. Yeah, sorry YouTubers. Just want to remind you, while you're at it, where the intake is of the engine, where the throttle body or air intake goes on, inside there, just make sure you clean that out too. Put maybe a rag inside a hole, and then just take a screwdriver or something, and just scrape all the soot out of there too. There's a lot of muck inside there as well. So I'm going to just put a throttle body back with a intake pipe and a EGR sensor. So, and then I'll continue with the video. So yeah, just nice clean. Cheers. Yeah, YouTubers, just continue on what I was doing further. What I've done is the intercooler's pipe that goes onto the throttle body or to the air intake manifold, which is, you got a plug that plug in there, your big plug for your throttle, and that's your air sensor. Another plug there, another plug that's there, a bolt there, there's another bolt over there, a little bolt there, and then you got 2 bolts behind, if I can show you there, one there and one there, that tightens up the air intake manifold onto the engine. And now the only thing we still got left is this pipe here that comes from the from over there, which is the little intercooler that comes from the exhaust gas, which is fairly clean. So it just goes from there, and I'll show you. So it goes on there, just like that, and onto the EGR sensor. So all the things has been tightened up. Oh, don't forget this plug on your EGR sensor, little motor, the drive motor for the EGR sensor. So just bear with me, gotta put this gasket on. Try and get this gasket in here, make sure it's the right way. Always just lightly do everything up. Don't go too wild and tighten up the bolts. First line everything up and then tighten everything. Just a little hint. Hang on. I might have to undo these first and get that one on. I'm just going to put a camera down one side. Hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing. So just take these 2 bolts off on an EGR sensor, so we can line those other 2 up there. Right, that's lined up. Tighten these ones up here. This is the bracket. Fuck, Christ. Seems like this one didn't enter properly. That happens sometimes. Righto, so that's size 14, I think it is. The 14 swivel that I use. Might have to go and get my ratchet. Just bear with me. Let's see if I can fit in here with the ratchet. I just got to stop this video so I can enter these bolts in properly. Hey Chivas, yeah, just to show you, I'll continue where I left off. So this is the intercooler for the exhaust gases that comes from the exhaust manifold. That's the bolt I've just tightened up, these 2. That runs all the way to the EGR, which has got 2 big bolts, one there and another one back there that's attached to the EGR. So I've got all the wires hooked up and everything's been tightened up now. All the wires, plugs and everything's plugged in. Air intake hose is on. So I'm just going to take all these tools away and see if I'll fix my problem with the engine management light that stayed on. So just bear with me. Take all the tools away first before we have any accidents. No tools in the engine bay or on the battery that can fall in. Dipsticks are all secured. All the bolts and nuts is all tightened up again. So let's have a go. That's all the shit that came out of it. So I'll go and see if the light goes off. Okay, there's the engine management light is still on, and I'll just cars are neutral, yep, so just start. That light should be going off. Might have to take it to the agent to have it reset after I've cleaned all that muck. It's still not going off. Maybe when we drive it, it might go off. I'll see in a couple of days if it's going to go off or not. But yeah, that's the way you clean the EGR sensor and the air intake. Cheers. Hey YouTubers, yeah, still haven't driven the car. I was busy changing the brake blocks and the damn thing. It's still the same amount of kilometers it had on. Just gave it a oil change and a fuel filter change and changing the disc brake blocks. As you can see on the right hand screen, that engine management light is out. Now the light's on there. 153 kilometers, almost 154,000 kilometers. I'm going to turn the car off and just start it back up again. So there you can see the glow plug light is on and the engine management light is out. I hope this helped you guys. Yeah, all good. I hope it works for you. Cheers.